Yeah, good evening everyone. So today in this session we are going to discuss about one of the important mathematical concept. The name of the concept which we are going to discuss right now is about the rational numbers. Okay. So the name of the topic which we are going to discuss now is about rational numbers. So in this session we need to know what is the meaning of rational number and how a rational number can be expressed and what is the general structure of a rational number and what are the important facts that are related to the rational number. Okay, so once again I am telling you now, right now we are going to discuss about the concept or the introduction that is related to the rational numbers. So in that concept we are going to learn what is the meaning of rational number and how a rational number can be expressed or what is the general format in that one, and after the definition we are going to learn some important facts that are related to a rational number. Okay, so is it clear or not? So the name of the topic right now we are going to discuss is about the rational number. So I request everyone to please pay your attention and I request you to note down this concept as well. Okay, so right now we are going to start the concept. The name of the topic is a rational number. So generally, how can we define a rational number? So first of all, we need to define in the form of a definition, or we have to define. So what is the meaning of a rational number? So generally, I have written the definition here. See that one: a number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q or A by B. So generally either P by Q or A by B. So out of these two notations you can select any one notation, either P by Q or A by B. So out of these two notations you can select any one notation and you can use further in the chapter. Okay, so my definition is a number which can be expressed. Expressed means which can be written. Okay, so generally in mathematics we use the term express in place of definition. Okay, so while writing the definitions we are using the word expressed, means it can be written as, okay, any number or a number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q or A by B. Okay, so out of these two notations you can select any one notation. So such type of numbers, those are called as a rational numbers. Got it or not? So any number which can be written in the form of P by Q or A by B, and we have to remember one more condition. Okay, what is that condition is nothing but if you observe that P by Q notation, in P by Q notation, P is the numerical part, okay, Q is the denominator part. And similarly, if you select A by B, A will be the numerator and B is the denominator. And while expressing any number in rational form, we have to keep one condition in our mind. We have to remember one condition, that the denominator, so either Q or B, they should not get equal to 0. They are not supposed to get the value of 0. Okay, and you have to keep that condition in mind, that if we want to express any number in the form of rational number, we have to remember that the denominator part should not be equal to 0. For example, if I take P by Q notation, Q is the denominator part, and you have to remember that Q should not be equal to 0. And if I take the A by B notation, in A by B, B is the denominator part and B should not be equal to 0. So that is the condition. Okay, what is the condition? In order to express any number in the form of rational number, that is nothing but P by Q form or A by B form, we have to remember one condition. The condition is that the denominator should not be equal to 0. That is, Q should not be equal to 0 or else B should not be equal to 0. Okay, that is the fact we need to remember in the mind. So finally we can say that a rational number can be defined as a number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q or A by B with a condition that Q should not be equal to 0 and as well as B should not be equal to 0. So finally we can say that the denominator part should not get equal to 0. Other than that, we can express the rational number. So finally, once again, I would like to repeat the definition that a rational number is nothing but any number or a number that can be expressed in the form of P by Q or A by B with a condition that denominator should not get equal to 0. That is, Q should not be equal to 0 and B should not be equal to 0. That kind of numbers are called as a rational number. So this is the introduction or the definition or the how we are going to define the rational number. Is it clear or not? So once again, I am telling you, out of two notations you can select either one notation, either P by Q or A by B. You can select any one notation and you have to keep the one condition in mind, that denominator part should not get equal to 0. That is, Q should not be equal to 0 and B should not be equal to 0. And other than that, we can express the number in the form of P by Q form. Such type of representing the number is called as a rational number. Is it clear or not? So right now, the next topic which we are going to discuss is about some important facts are there. So totally, we are going to discuss the 4 important facts that are related to rational numbers. Okay, got it or not? The first part we have discussed about the meaning, definition, structure, and how we are representing it with condition. So what is the condition? Just we have discussed is that denominator part should not get equal to 0. That is, q should not be equal to 0 and b should not be equal to 0. So remember that point in your mind. Okay, and next one we are going to discuss about the facts that are related to the rational numbers. So what are the 4 important facts we have to remember? So these facts are very important at the time of fill in the blanks or any multiple choice questions. Okay, so these facts are very important. So please do remember in your mind safely and carefully. Okay, so let us discuss some important facts. So there are mainly 4 important facts which we need to know before starting the sums that are related to the rational numbers. So out of 4, the first important fact, if you could observe on the board, you will be able to find the total 4 important facts I have written. Correct or not? So out of these 4 important facts, the first fact is nothing but every natural number is a rational number. So you have to remember the first fact is that every natural number is a rational number. That means that every natural number can be expressed as a rational number. Got it or not? So what is the meaning of natural number? You have to know. So generally the numbers has been classified into real numbers, integers, whole numbers, fractions, decimals, correct or not? And like that, natural numbers are nothing but the numbers which are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on and n terms. So whatever it may be up to n terms. So like that, excluding 0. Okay, the natural numbers, they will start from 1 and they will keep on going 1, 2, 3, 4 up to so on n value. Okay, we don't know the ending value, but the starting value should be 1. Okay, for natural numbers. So like that, every natural number, what is the first fact? Every, I have underlined here, see, every natural number can be expressed as a rational number. So rational number is nothing but p by q form or a by b form, correct or not? Right now, we are going to show the relationship between a natural number and as well as a rational number. For example, just now I told you that natural numbers are denoted by the letter n and starting with 1, correct or not? So 1, 2, 3, 4, up and up to so on. So I would like to convert these natural numbers into rational numbers. So rational numbers means what is the form here? P by q form. For example, if I take 1, so 1 can be expressed as p by q means 1 by 1. And if I take 2, 2 by 1. If I take 3, 3 by 1. If I take 4, 4 by 1. So like that, every natural number can be expressed in terms of rational number by taking 1 as the denominator. Correct or not? For example, if I take 5, 5 by 1. If I take 10, 10 by 1. If I take 9, 9 by 1. So like that, 1 by 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1. So like that, how many terms are there? For example, if I have n terms, n by 1. So finally you can say that every natural number can be expressed as rational numbers, that is nothing but p by q form. If you observe here 1 by 1, so 1 is the p value and 1 is the q value. In 2 by 1, p value is 2, q value is 1. In 3 by 1, 3 is nothing but a p value, 1 is nothing but a q value. So what it is? So 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1, 6 by 1. So like that, n by 1. So like that, every natural number can be expressed as rational number, p by q form. So we have to identify the p and q value. So that is the first fact. Is it clear or not? Second fact is nothing but integer. Okay, every integer can be expressed as a rational number, or every integer is also a rational number. First fact is about the natural number, and the second fact is about the integers. Okay, every integer can be expressed as a rational number. So generally we know that integers are mainly 2 types, including 0. So positive integer, negative integer, and 0. Correct or not? So like that, if you take negative integers, so minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 1, so like that. If you take positive integers, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, including 0. So if you observe that number line, so negative numbers and positive numbers separated by 0, correct? So the 0 left side values belongs to negative numbers and 0 right side values belongs to the positive numbers, correct? So like that, if you could remember every integer, so every integer is nothing but either it may be a positive integer or either it may be a negative integer, correct or not? So every integer can also be expressed as a rational number. Simply you have to remember that rational number means p by q form. Correct or not? So finally you have to remember that rational number is nothing but expressing the given number in the p by q form or a by b form is nothing but a rational number, and a condition is that denominator should not be equal to 0. That is the condition. So right now every integer means minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, correct or not? If I want to convert these integers into rational numbers, simply minus 2 by 1, minus 1 by 1, minus 0 by 1 by 1, 2 by 1, so like that. So negative integers and positive integers, correct or not? So finally these can be converted into a rational number. So rational numbers means p by q, p by q, p by q, correct or not? So in minus 2 by 1, minus 2 is the p value and 1 is the q value. In minus 1 by 1, p value is minus 1, q value is plus 1. So like that you have to remember. Okay, this is the second fact. And third fact is very very important. And many people they have doubt and confusion that 0 is it a rational or irrational. Irrational is nothing but opposite to rational. So and obviously remember that the number 0 is always rational, it is not irrational. Remember that point, okay? The number 0 is always a rational number, that is nothing but 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3, 0 by 4 means p by q, p by q, p by q are converting, correct or not? So by expressing that 0 with any number in the denominator, use the value 0 only. For example, if you take 0 by 4, in that 0 by 4, p value is 0, q value is 4. So 0 by 4, what is the value? 0. So finally you can say that 0 can be always expressed as a rational number only, because it can be written with any denominator, 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3, but whatever the value it may be, the final value will be obviously always it will be the 0 only. So finally you can say that the number 0 is always and treated as rational number but not irrational. Remember that point. Always 0 belongs to rational number category only. Is that clear or not? Because by expressing that 0 with any denominator gives the value 0 only. Is that clear? And the fourth important fact is fractions. Okay. So every fraction, so fraction is nothing but numerator part by denominator part. So simply it is equal to rational number only. So finally you can remember that every fraction can be expressed as rational number. 100% correct. For example, in fraction what will be having? Numerator by denominator. In rational number also p by q form, numerator and denominator. So finally you can say that every fraction can be expressed in the terms of rational numbers. So rational numbers means p by q form. Is it clear or not? So these are the four important concepts or the facts which we are going to learn before going to start the sums. So within 2 minutes I would like to recap that one. So first of all we have discussed about the meaning of rational number. So any number which can be expressed in terms of p by q or a by b form with a condition that denominator should not be equal to 0. That is q should not be equal to 0 and b should not be equal to 0. Such type of representation of numbers is called a rational number. And some important facts. So there are maybe 4 important facts which we need to know before starting the sums of the rational number. The first fact is that natural numbers, every natural number starting with 1 can be expressed as a rational number. So 1 by 1, 2 by 1, 3 by 1, 4 by 1. So whatever it may be, the first fact is every natural number can be expressed as a rational number in the form of p by q. And second fact is about the integer. So either it may be a positive integer or either it may be a negative integer. Whatever the integer it may be, every integer can also be expressed as a rational number. And third fact is about that we have very very important fact that 0 is always belongs to rational category only, because by expressing that 0 with any other number in the denominator like 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3, obviously you will get the value 0. So finally you have to treat that 0 as a rational number. And finally the fourth important fact which you are going to learn is a fraction. Every fraction can be expressed in the form of rational number, that is about the p by q form. Okay, so these are the 4 important facts. In the next section we shall concentrate on the 2 important properties are there. So those 2 important properties we are going to learn, and later you can start the sums that are related to the rational numbers. Okay, good evening, have a nice day.